What's up guys, I'm James, this is the Great Gambino channel, and I've been covering virtual reality here on YouTube since 2013. Today is an exciting day because it's one of those moments that we push forward in the progression of virtual reality technology. In this video, we are going to be doing a full unboxing that covers everything included with the Meta Quest Pro. We are going to be comparing aesthetics and tech specs to the Quest 2, as well as covering how to set up hand, face, and eye tracking. I will also be giving examples of mixed reality with the color pass-through, and as many other features and games that we could squeeze into this video. Toward the end, I will give my current thoughts and opinions on this piece of technology so far. And if you would like to skip ahead to any specific part of the video, I will have timestamps listing each section in the description. So, without further delay, let's get into it. Similar to the packaging of the Quest 2, Meta provides a little peel tab that feels like opening a giant pack of gum. I was really looking forward to this part ever since my Quest 2 unboxing. Unfortunately, the pull tab ripped too early and destroyed the entire peel experience for me. Not off to a good start. The top of the box has the new Meta logo, and images of the headset and hand controls can be seen on the front and back. Removing the white sleeve exposes a basic cardboard colored box with the Meta logo and Meta Quest Pro written in the center. It is a thick, quality box that has the lid pull off vertically. On the inside, everything is organized, neat, and delivered in a high-end presentation. Contents included are the new improved touch controllers, the Meta Quest Pro headset, and an accessory box containing an AC adapter, cable for the charging dock. On the reverse side, we have an extra controller charger. Now, you will only be able to charge one at a time, but it connects and detaches really easily with a magnet. We also have a packet that comes with instruction manuals and a microfiber cloth. Toward the center, we have a third cardboard box that contains two attachable styluses for the bottom of the touch controller. To install them, you simply push in on the touch strap and give it a twist. Once it releases, you slide in the stylus, then it is ready to draw and write in virtual and augmented reality. To replace the strap, you just reverse this process. The strap itself seems to be made of some sort of rubber pleather material, and it kind of reminds me of what we had on the Quest 1. The charging dock is the main way people will charge. This holster-style plate is very convenient to drop both the controllers and the headset onto after use, keeping you ready for your next session. When you are first trying it out, you will find that it is a little bit cumbersome and will take some getting used to. When fully charged, the headset should last 1 to 2 hours, with the touch controllers around 8 hours. You will also receive a silicone cover for protecting the high-gloss headset front and cameras. The reverse side has an almost felt-like texture, and overall, it's a nice bonus. But I have to mention that while this cover is on the headset, it will not allow the device to lay flush on the charging dock, preventing it from receiving any sort of charge. So knowing that, you will have to remove it every time before putting it on the dock. Because Quest Pro is a more open design, allowing you to view the real world well in the headset, Meta has added a few light blockers that connect with magnets to each side for reducing light bleed. I have tested these out, and for me, they are a bit uncomfortable. In addition, I do not feel that they improve the experience, so I most likely will not be using these at all. Meta will be selling a full light blocker for $50, but from what I hear, there's quite a bit of light bleed around the nose. As of now, I am not planning on picking this up. If you look hard enough in the box, you will find a cable clip that attaches to the side of the headset to keep extra cables tidy. But let's move on to getting things set up inside of the headset. Initially, when you first power up, things like hand, face, and eye tracking will not be turned on. You will have to set things up yourself, and it's pretty simple by just going into the settings under App Library or the taskbar. Then select Privacy, Device Permissions, and make sure to turn on hand tracking, natural facial expressions, and eye tracking. Once you click eye tracking, you will be prompted for a basic calibration test where a tiny pink dot will move around the screen and you will be required to follow it with your eyes. Once this is complete, you can select check calibration. I found this part pretty amazing because wherever you look, the little glowing dot will move in sync with your eyes. It is part of this headset's technological breakthrough that we have yet to see what it is truly capable of delivering for us. When you are satisfied, you can click finish setup. You will also need to go back into settings, select movement tracking, and make sure to turn on facial expressions, eye tracking, and hand tracking in this section as well. When hand tracking is on, you will be able to place the controllers down and use your actual hands to navigate menus, play certain games, and it will also be very useful with Quest Pro business style applications. This is not a new feature to Quest Pro and can also be used with past headsets. With facial tracking now on, you will see improvements with your avatar animations, giving more life and personality to your character. In this clip here, you can see basic movement of the mouth in Rec Room where we don't see much other facial language translated. Switching to this clip of my avatar in Horizon, you now have the ability to show exactly what your mouth is doing and where your eyes are looking. You can squint, raise your eyebrows, and even fill your cheeks up with air. Keep in mind, this is early stages of facial expressions, so I imagine as software updates release, we will see great progression in this area. I just want to mention that there is also a voice command option that can be turned on in experimental features, if that is something you are interested in using. After you create your traditional boundary system the same as in Quest 1 and 2, you will have the ability to map out your walls and surroundings. For this, you will also want to go into experimental features, and then under room setup you will select the tab. After that, you will need to click Continue. The headset will now prompt you with a purple marker to set at the base corner of one of your walls. You will then click and drag all the way to the top corner of your ceiling, following the walls clicking each corner until you have drawn out all of the walls in your room. Once you finally work your way back to the original spot, the marker will snap together, completing the room outline. If you would like to go one step further, the software will now give you the option to add things like a sofa, desk, door, window, or other objects. We'll select door, and similar to the last step, you will click down at the bottom left corner, then scale up and highlight the entire door. You can see here that I've done it for the window and my Mega Construx Castle Grayskull. You don't want to bash that apart. When I first loaded into the Meta home screen on the Pro, I immediately could tell how much more clear, sharp, and colorful everything was, especially the scenic view in the distance. Also, the field of view increase was very obvious to me, and it felt much more like I was actually in this environment, rather than staring at a screen close to my face. One of the cool things about this headset is that if you do not wish to use one of the Meta home environments, you can click on Quick Settings and then select the headset icon on the bottom left, which will turn on Passthrough Home and allow you to navigate through the menus and your game library while viewing your actual living space. When it comes to the quality of the camera visuals while in pass-through mode, it's very apparent that we have an improvement from the Quest 2 pass-through. Everything is in color, 3D depth and dimension is definitely there, and it's very easy to know where you are spatially, so you can grab and manipulate objects in the room. However, I will admit that I was unimpressed with the overall pass-through quality in this price range. Things still looked very grainy, with mild distortion here and there, and because we only have one color camera that feeds information to the other black and white cameras, I noticed when moving my hands fast, the color will sometimes struggle to keep up. But I am confident that just like with Quest 2, we are going to see many software updates and pass-through improvements throughout the next year or two. Now we are going to take a look at some of the mixed reality applications that I tested out. But before we get started, I wanted to mention that if you are a content creator and you need to record what you are viewing in your headset, it is important for you to know that the headset comes stock with pass-through recording blocked out. You can still record, but all you will see is the digital images, and everything from reality will be replaced with black screen. There are ways through developers mode that allow you to set up your Quest Pro to bypass this limitation. If this is something you would like to do, I followed an excellent in-detail tutorial by content creator Hugh, and I will have a link to his video in the description down below. The first app I tried was The World Beyond. It was a short but sweet little experience that opens up a hole in the ground, giving you a multitask tool. You will use this to find and play with a cute space creature. Things get interesting when you point and click with the tool to remove your actual wall of your living space, revealing a virtual world behind it. You are able to throw a ball from reality through the virtual opening that the character will go fetch and bring back to you. It's a pretty good early example of the two realities blending back and forth. I Expect You to Die Home Sweet Home is an escape room-like experience that will have you start off trapped in a full virtual reality box. You can slide levers to open small windows that reveal your living space. As you figure things out and release yourself from this enclosure, there will be other AR challenges that you will have to be clever to figure out how to overcome. Figment XR is a full-on creator-driven mixed reality experience that allows you to load objects, games, or whatever else the community is able to artistically dream up. This app got addictive pretty quickly as I found myself racing marbles, turning my play area into a mini golf course, and even decorating the entire room for Christmas. I really hope down the road, as mixed reality becomes more mainstream, this app gets a multiplayer update. The combination of artistic people creating so many amazing things and pairing that together with a community, I can see this app turning into the augmented reality version of Rec Room. Air Hockey VR is an app you can find through App Labs. It's a simple concept, but I was shocked about how perfectly it worked. It really felt like I had a giant air hockey table installed in my room. I think it would be amazing if down the road, this game was paired with scanning an object like your kitchen table, similar to how you can scan your work desk now, and then maybe you would have some sort of goalie paddle you can fasten to the touch controller. If I had a surface set up for me to slide my hand around on, I almost feel like there would be very little difference from having an actual air hockey table in the room. Another cool experience you can find through App Labs is Hauntify Mixed Reality. This game will allow you to map out walls in a much bigger play space, giving yourself access to halls and the ability to go into other rooms. Once you have your area completely mapped out, there are multiple gameplay options that will have you searching around in a darkened mixed reality, only using a flashlight. You will have to be careful because you never know if there's a ghost hiding around the corner in your own house. When it comes to full-on virtual reality, the first game I tried was the newly released Bone Lab. Other than the headset's increased field of view, I did not notice any immediate differences in this game, and I was overall unimpressed. But this is not a title that has been optimized for what the Quest Pro is capable of doing. On the other hand, if we jump over to the second game I tried, Red Matter 2, you can see with Foveated rendering on, I am following my hand movements with my eyes. As my hand stays in focus, the surrounding areas have a lowered resolution that is noticeable. Because I am not focusing on that area, I hardly notice it. I will say that in this game, the textures look so good that if you told me I was playing a PC VR game, I would probably believe you. Another thing I noticed is that while in game, there are touch sensors built into the controller. So if I lightly rest my finger on the buttons without actually pressing them, the in-game fingers move accordingly. This works for the buttons, thumbsticks, and even the triggers. Moving on to the controllers themselves, the Pro's improvements are astronomical. Physically having both in hand and moving them around, the Pro just feels like a more solid and premium piece of tech. This makes sense because there's so much more packed inside of them. For instance, both controllers have their own Snapdragon 662 chips built into them. These will work to power the additionally added inside-out camera trackers, with one being placed on the top and two more on the front. Because of this, Meta was able to remove the tracking rings from the Quest 2 controllers. In order for that tracking ring to work, it had to be visible from the front cameras in the Quest 2 headset. In certain games, if you were reaching behind your head to grab an item off of your back, occasionally the controller would lose tracking. With the new tech, this is no longer an issue. Additionally, the elimination of the ring allows you to bring the controller closer to your face, adding benefit to any game that requires you to look down a scope. Another change is that the new controllers have built-in rechargeable batteries and that easy connect magnet for attaching the charger. On the Quest 2, you needed the use of AA batteries. The Pros are also supposed to have improved haptic feedback from Quest 2. I can say that there was one moment while playing mini golf in Figment XR, I hit the golf ball up an incline and didn't quite make it, causing the ball to roll back in my direction. The illusion created by the haptic feedback was shocking to me, as it somehow felt like a little golf ball was tapping on the end of a putter as it bounced back multiple times. It was extremely immersive, and I'm very excited for more little moments like this. The Pro controllers are far superior than what you get with the Quest 2, and there really is no comparison. If you are interested in this upgrade, there will be an option to purchase the updated Pro controllers, which will work with your Quest 2, but it is going to be pretty expensive, coming in at $300. Let's move on to comparing the two headsets. At first glance, you will immediately notice that the front side of the Pro is much slimmer than the Quest 2. This is because Meta has reduced the optical stack by over 40% with the use of their new pancake lenses and optic technology. Even though there is a decrease in resolution from 1832 by 1920 to 1800 by 1920, the Pro has two quantum dot LCD screens with 500 local dimming zones, creating excellent contrast. This works in combination with their advanced VR LCD tech that provides 37% greater pixels per inch and 1.3 times larger color gamut for more vibrant visuals. So overall, you will notice a big step up when it comes to the image on the Quest Pro. The Pro weighs a little bit more than the Quest 2, but because the battery has been moved to the back, it all balances out for a more comfortable fit. With this more convenient weight distribution, Meta was able to remove the top strap, which is nice to have a more free head. The only points that you will have pressure now is the front of the forehead and the back, where you can use the rotating dial to secure everything firmly. The overall head strap of the Pro feels very sturdy, like it will not have the same breaking problems that have been reported with the Quest 2's upgradable Elite strap that you see pictured here. It's important for me to mention that when you buy a Quest 2, it comes stock with an elastic strap, similar to ski goggles. So, with almost no weight in the back and minimal support, it will cause it to be front heavy, creating discomfort on your face after prolonged use. With Quest Pro and the way it's designed, the front does not even touch your face, and even if you wear glasses, there's another dial in the front that will allow you to push the lenses forward, giving you increased space for your glasses. It's great for someone like me because this is the first headset that wears comfortably to the point that I will most likely not need to purchase prescription lens covers. But the comfort does not stop there, because you now have a slidable IPD adjustment that ranges between 55 and 75 millimeters, allowing for a crisp, comfortable, and larger sweet spot of focus for more people. This is in comparison to the Quest 2's limited 3 IPD settings at 58, 63, and 68 millimeters. With the Quest Pro, you will see a horizontal field of view increase from 96 to 106 degrees. Both headsets have a vertical field of view of 96 degrees. As I said earlier, the wider peripheral vision was noticeable as soon as I powered up the headset. Taking a look at the front of both headsets, even though the Pro's glass-like front is made of plastic, it immediately looks more futuristic with an overall flashier aesthetic in comparison to the Quest 2's more bland appearance. There has also been an increase in the amount of cameras on the Pro, with 3 on the front, 1 on each side, and 5 on the inside, whereas the Quest 2 only has 4 exterior cameras. And as we know, the Quest cameras are all black and white, with the Pro having color pass-through capabilities. Another big area where these two headsets separate on camera technology is that the 5 cameras inside of the Pro are the ones that will be used to track those facial and eye movements. I can say that as of right now, there is one area of downgrade with the Pro, and that is the limitation of a 90Hz refresh rate, while Quest 2 has had software updates that now push the tech up to 120Hz on certain applications. But it is entirely possible that we will get the same updates down the road for the Pro. Last but not least, the Quest Pro has an increase of 6 more gigabytes of RAM, along with a Snapdragon XR2 Plus chip, which can push the headset harder with reduced heating issues. So what are my overall thoughts on this headset and where we are right now? One thing I always hear people say is that VR is an isolated activity that cuts you off from friends and loved ones. Even though I am a VR enthusiast, I will admit that they are not fully wrong. But I do not believe this is the way things will always stay. During the Oculus DK1 days, virtual reality didn't even have multiplayer options, and now there are entire communities socializing. This Quest Pro headset is Meta's first step into blending virtual and augmented reality. If I had to rate where it is, I would say that, as for the mixed reality portion, I feel it's comparable to where the Oculus Development Kit 2 was with virtual reality. What I'm trying to say is that this feels more like a mixed reality development kit versus something that would be for the overall consumer market. It definitely impressed me in many ways, and already, testing apps in Passthrough mixed reality, I'm starting to see a future where isolation is slowly fizzling away. With the Pro, I can see and communicate with my wife and even reach down to pet my dog while in the headset. But I see a long-term future with much smaller headsets that are an easy, affordable, and convenient option that have real mainstream power. Already, Meta is working on smart glasses with Ray-Ban that look like a typical pair of Wayfarers. It's pretty easy to see the direction that they are moving in with that product and the Pro mixed headset here. I believe in the future, there's going to be a much higher quality and affordable product that meets somewhere in the middle of both of these. But is this current headset for you? Well, I would have to say that depends on who you are and what are your needs. As everyone knows, this headset is very expensive, coming in at $1,500. So right off the top, if you are someone who is newly interested in VR and are looking to get in for the first time to do some gaming, I would say this headset is not for you. After all of the amazing software updates, the Quest 2 is an excellent headset for a much more affordable price and is probably still the better place to start. On the other hand, if you are using this for business purposes, are an absolute tech VR enthusiast, or somebody with endless funds who just wants the best experience available, this headset could fit your needs. The Quest Pro may be expensive and a little rough around the edges, but what it does offer is a necessary advancement and a step in the right direction for progressing this technology down a road that will one day make mixed reality enticing and worthwhile for everyone. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.